Right now, former President Trump wins the New Hampshire Republican primary, a victory putting him on a clear path for the Republican presidential nomination.
But first, an alert day remains in the forecast through tomorrow morning for freezing rain and fog. Gary shares what you need to know in the forecast.
Wisconsin, it's been one heck of a year, and I have much to report.
I'm Will Keneally. We're here at the state capitol with the latest on the governor's State of the State address.
That's all coming up right now at 10. Another round of winter weather earlier today brought us snow and freezing rain. Freezing drizzle and freezing rain are possible later tonight, along with some dense fog. You can expect more wet weather the next couple of days, but mainly in the form of rain.
That plus warming temperatures should help start to melt some of the snow out there. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi checks in. He has the details in his first warn forecast. Gary?
Yeah, the good news is we're warming up. The bad news is our temperatures are still right around freezing. So the warming gets some of the snow melting. That adds moisture to the air, and you end up with fog. And we also have the possibility for some freezing rain and freezing drizzle. We have a first warn weather alert day in the forecast now through tomorrow morning for dense fog through at least mid-morning, where visibilities could be less than a quarter of a mile. And then some freezing drizzle or light freezing rain could add some slickness to the roads. Dense fog advisory in effect until 10 a.m. for Dane County and areas to the east, including basically west of Platteville to Lone Rock to Wisconsin Dells line. West of there, the advisory runs through 9 a.m. The fog should thin out a little bit more there. Right now, visibilities are worst to the south of Madison. Half-mile visibility in Mineral Point, quarter of a mile in Monroe, three-quarters of a mile in Janesville. Dane County regional airports dropped to 2 miles, and those numbers will continue to fall overnight. High-resolution radar, maybe a little bit of light freezing drizzle heading toward the area around Prairie du Chien. 6-hour future track radar shows more widespread precipitation coming up from the south and maybe changing to freezing rain as it approaches the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. And you can see some freezing rain expected overnight into early tomorrow morning. High temperatures today, just barely above freezing, but enough to melt some of the snow. And right now, temperatures are right around freezing, give or take a degree or so one way or the other. And that is going to be important for precipitation type. Here in Madison, 32, Middleton 33, Verona 34. So just depends on where you are. Otherwise, expect dense fog and some drizzle or freezing drizzle, maybe some light freezing rain overnight with a low of 31. Later on, I'll take a look at a forecast that does include more mild weather into next week.
Gary, thank you. A little more than 2 hours ago, Governor Tony Evers wrapped up his annual State of the State address.
Political reporter Will Keneally is at the state capitol tonight and joins us live with the governor's message. Will?
Eric and Charlotte, two big things we heard from the governor's speech tonight: unfinished business and a pitch for Democrats' policy proposals ahead of this November's election.
The governor of the great state of Wisconsin.
We began this biennium in the best fiscal position in our state's history.
And because of that, Wisconsin has had more money than expected for the state's politicians to spend. Governor Evers and Democrats have been long arguing to use that money to lift up the state's workforce by supporting child care. Last year, the governor used some last-ditch funds to support an ongoing child care program.
I want to be clear, I directed that funding that I could, but it wasn't enough. Wisconsin child care providers will soon receive their final payment from the federally funded portion of child care accounts. So the emergency $170 million I directed last fall as a stopgap measure now kicks in.
He challenged Republicans to do more on child care, which is part of a push he made to show the difference between the two parties.
We have important elections coming up this year, including one in November.
We also heard some of that political rhetoric we're expecting in this fall's elections, including on one of the race's top issues, abortion.
Republicans' last candidate for governor wanted to take those same freedoms and more away. You might notice he's not here delivering the State of the State address tonight.
Republicans, though, they said most of what the governor took credit for was really their ideas.
A budget that's balanced, more money for schools, all things adopted by the Republican legislature, signed by Governor Evers. My biggest disappointment is that with a record surplus in the till, we didn't hear him mention a single thing about giving relief back to the average taxpayer.
So actually earlier today, Republicans introduced a series of tax cut proposals that they hope that the governor will sign off on. Now, I want to leave you with this real quick. A little alcove over my shoulder there. We're waiting on the results of a closed-door meeting to see if the assembly will actually come back into session, tie up some loose ends, all part of a very busy day here under the dome. But for now, reporting from the state capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
All right, Will, thank you. An update now on a murder case out of Juneau County. 2 suspects arrested for the death of a man found near a trail have been charged tonight. 47-year-old Donald Dahlberg faces multiple charges, including first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating and hiding a corpse, and 10 counts of bail jumping. His bond set at $1 million. Also arrested 27-year-old Crystal Toomer. She is not facing a homicide charge, but was charged with mutilating a corpse, arson of property other than a building, and 2 counts of bail jumping. The victim, 57-year-old Floyd Burdick, was found Thursday morning near County Highway M at the Oak Ridge Trail parking area just northeast of Camp Douglas, south of the town of Cutler. At the time, authorities described that death as suspicious. Madison police say last week someone stole a trailer from a parking lot behind a near East Side church, and now they're investigating. A man called officers to a lot behind St. Bernard's Catholic Church on Atwood Avenue on Thursday. He said he had rented a parking space there for his enclosed trailer, which was now gone. It reportedly was full of outdoor recreation equipment, including high-end bicycles and paddleboards. So far, no arrests have been made, but anyone with information asked to call the number here on your screen to Madison area Crime Stoppers. The 2024 presidential election cycle well underway, and tonight CBS News projects former President Donald Trump has won the New Hampshire primary.
Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley will come in second, but as Skylar Henry reports, the eyes are on the vote margin between the two candidates as Haley vows to fight on.
CBS News projects former President Donald Trump has won the first-in-the-nation primary in New Hampshire, following his 30-point victory in last week's Iowa caucuses.
Well, I want to thank everybody. This is a fantastic state. This is a great, great state. You know, we won New Hampshire 3 times now, 3.
Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley is the only Republican still challenging Trump for the party's nomination. She worked to pull in independent and anti-Trump voters.
With Donald Trump, you have one bout of chaos after another. This court case, that controversy, this tweet, that senior moment. You can't fix Joe Biden's chaos with Republican chaos.
Haley's main super PAC expects she'll stay competitive through Super Tuesday in March, when the greatest number of states hold their nominating contests. And things could change between now and then as Trump's legal cases play out. CBS News exit polling finds New Hampshire Republican primary voters divided on whether a Trump criminal conviction would make him fit for the presidency.
Trump has too much baggage. He's got indictments on him. Who knows if he gets the primary and wins the primary, he may wind up in court in jail.
Exit polling also finds an electorate unhappy about the economy and immigration.
Look at the fentanyl coming in the country. Look at it's the crime in our country. We need to secure our country for our kids.
The last 4 winners of the New Hampshire GOP primary have gone on to be the Republican presidential nominee. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Manchester, New Hampshire.
Well, back here in Wisconsin, the Milwaukee Bucks have made a change in leadership. Despite a 30-13 record, the team fired first-year head coach Adrian Griffin this afternoon. For the time being, veteran assistant coach Joe Prunty will serve as interim coach. Zach will have more on the surprise firing and possible replacement later in sports.
Federal funding for domestic and sexual abuse victim services is taking a big hit this year, dropping by more than 70%. Here in Wisconsin, that leaves advocacy organizations scrambling to fill that funding gap. Wisconsin ranks number 7 in the nation for domestic violence homicides per capita. Between 2021 and 2022, the number of domestic violence homicides rose by 20%. Organizations like Madison's Days and Hope House in Baraboo combine to serve families across 6 counties. And they say without federal funding, that will be an even more difficult task than it already is.
Any loss of any program in the state is going to have a ripple effect for all of us. So if a shelter closes in one part of the state, shelters like Days that remain open, we're going to see more and more victims who are desperately fleeing potentially homicidal situations, coming to our organizations for support, and at times where we already have huge wait lists.
The hope now is the state legislature can help with the funding gap. Senate Bill 877 would increase state funding for victim services by $25 million over 2 years. It's getting a hearing at the Capitol on Thursday.
In spring, a trip to California will be just 1 flight away. Dane County Regional Airport offering nonstop service to Los Angeles International Airport. In May, it'll come on low-cost carrier Breeze Airways. The direct flights will be seasonal, offered twice weekly starting May 22nd, the first nonstop service to LA since the COVID-19 pandemic. Breeze Airways will also offer direct service from Madison to Orlando and Tampa starting next month. Former CBS newsman Charles Osgood died earlier today. According to the network, the veteran journalist passed away at his home in New Jersey. Osgood, best known for anchoring CBS Sunday Morning from 1994 to 2016. For decades, he also hosted a daily commentary series for CBS News Radio called The Osgood File. Charles Osgood was 91 years old. A city block in search of a new life in downtown Madison may finally get it.
Up next at 10, what the former West Johnson Street side of Madison College could soon turn into.
You're watching News 3 now at 10. Winner of the Best Evening Newscast by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association.
Fjords has been crafting beautifully designed functional furniture since 1941. Every aspect of Fjords furniture has been carefully engineered to create a higher level of relaxation. Visit the Century House today and view our extensive lineup. Experience the unmatched relaxation you can only achieve in Fjords furniture. Relaxation made beautiful. Visit the Century House at 3420 University Avenue in Madison or online at centuryhouseinc.com.
Habitat for Humanity of Dane County doesn't just build homes. We build financially strong families. Habitat Homes, financed through affordable mortgages, allow hardworking families to break the cycle of poverty and invest in their futures. Your support changes lives. Please donate today.
Spectrum Mobile brings you our best deal to start the new year. Now you can get unlimited mobile for $15 per line. That's right, only $15 a month per line. It's our best price on unlimited mobile. Switch now and save over $1,400 for the first year with Spectrum Mobile, the nation's fastest growing mobile provider. Switch to Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for just $15 per line with no added taxes or hidden fees and no contracts. Call 855-204-1678 or visit a Spectrum store near you. With Spectrum Mobile, you get a fast, reliable 5G network that millions of customers rely on. And you get the fastest wireless speeds with unlimited data to stream all day and the freedom to text and talk all you want. Plus nationwide 5G at no additional cost. All this for $15 a line with no added taxes or hidden fees. Start saving over $1,400 on your mobile bill now. Switch to Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for just $15 per line with no added taxes or hidden fees and no contracts. Call 855-204-1678 or visit a Spectrum store near you.
Find inspiration at the Build and Remodel Expo, sponsored by James Hardy. Meet local experts showcasing the latest innovations in home building and remodeling. Visit buildremodelexpo.com for details.
It's a robotic money expert.
Clever. How do I start a savings habit?
Famous cabbage.
Savings habit.
Shaving rabbits.
Tech can make life simpler, but when it comes to savings habits, nothing's as simple as BMO. A BMO savings account helps you build the habit with a cash reward every month you save.
Cash reward? Ingenious.
Sardine Fest.
This year's top prize goes to BMO.
I'm just in it for the saving, but it's nice to be recognized.
BMO. Paris and Kathy Hilton get candid. Who is most likely late to their own party?
Well, I learned that from you too.
Plus, Joel Kim Booster. And this Friday, Snoop Dogg!
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
Tonight, Madison's Common Council unanimously approved a design proposal for a hotel to go up where Madison College's downtown campus once stood.
New at 10, Arman Rahman goes into the proposal and what comes next for the site in the heart of downtown.
This former MATC downtown campus building is now one step closer to becoming an 11-story hotel.
We've had an eyesore sitting there on this very visible block of downtown Madison.
Now, Madison's Common Council approved a hotel to go there with 345 rooms and commercial, meeting, and community spaces and underground parking.
And not just lodging, but the fact that it's mixed use in that regard, and then also have some retail opportunities as well. Makes this a win-win in that sense.
To build a driveway, part of NCG Hospitality's proposal involved removing 2 mature ash trees along Wisconsin Avenue, and that raised some alarms.
You remove a big tree, you replant a new tree. That's not equal math in my book.
City Forester Ian Brown says the developer reached an agreement with the city and nearby residents to preserve the canopy.
What could we do on the entire parcel to actually increase plantable space, improve the growing conditions for the trees that either remain or would be reinstalled after the development is complete.
The proposal includes converting the historic school building on North Carroll Street into market rate housing. While Alder Mike Verveer says he tried to get NCG to provide some affordable housing, since Madison College still owns the property, the city's hands are tied.
With the rezoning, there are legal standards that we must adhere to. It doesn't relate to the provision of affordable housing.
Alder Verveer tells me that if NCG Hospitality decides to apply for TIF funds to finance the hotel here, that could be another way that the city incentivizes and encourages them to add affordable housing. In downtown Madison, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Did you know one of the world's most popular video games is developed right here in Wisconsin?
Well, Raven Software has been based in Middleton now for the last 34 years, and some of its most popular titles have been Call of Duty video games, but they've also helped develop games for the Star Wars and Marvel franchises. It was acquired by Activision back in 1997 and made it a priority to keep their headquarters in Middleton.
I always love being in Wisconsin, and we feel like it's a really great community. I mean, it's always in the top 5 places to live. And actually, when we sold Raven to Activision back in '97, we made it clear that we would not move from Wisconsin, and that they've honored that, so that's great.
The company is also planning partnerships with local universities to hire and retain homegrown talent after graduation.
Well, this morning we learned of the Oscar nominations, and like every year, there were a few snubs and surprises. Greta Gerwig may have directed a billion-dollar movie in Barbie, but the milestone wasn't enough to get her nominated. Neither was the film's star for Best Actress, Margot Robbie, but Ryan Gosling did receive a supporting actor nomination for his portrayal of Ken. Talk about the patriarchy, folks. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Eric, you need to see it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
However, Barbie was one of 10 films nominated for Best Picture. Other films nominated include Oppenheimer, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Past Lives, and Anatomy of a Fall. In terms of the films receiving the most nominations, Oppenheimer led the way with 13 nominations. Poor Things has 11. Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon is next with 10. Barbie brought in 8, and Maestro, distributed by Netflix, has 7.
Still haven't seen Barbie.
You will.
Well, if you thought the Jurassic World franchise was put to bed, think again. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Universal Pictures is developing an all-new Jurassic World movie. Now, whether they should, that's a separate question. The script is reportedly being written by the same man who wrote the first 2 Jurassic Park films. The movie could be released as early as next year, and all the 6 films in the Jurassic franchise have earned more than $6 billion worldwide. Now we know why they're making another one.
Yeah.
The Piano Man has a new single coming out. It's first in 17 years. The new track from Billy Joel, titled Time to Turn the Lights Back On, will drop February 1st. His last single came out back in 2007, and at that time it was Billy Joel's first new music since his 1993 album, River of Dreams. From the Piano Man to the Weatherman, Gary Canalti now.
Do you want me to sing?
First warn forecast. No. Yeah, sing some Billy Joel.
No. I've got 5 weeks left, and I'd like to remain employed for that period of time. And I'd like to get rid of some of the snow and slush and ice before I go, too.
Please.
Boy, just a crazy weather pattern out there. Let's start out by taking a look at something nice. Sandy Weber in Wanawak sends us this beautiful sunset picture. It's one of the few times we had a little bit of clearing. It was last Sunday, but submit your weather photos via the First Warn Weather and Traffic app, or you can email them to us at firstwarn@wisc-tv.com. We're getting some really nice pictures. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. We got fog overnight into tomorrow morning. Some of that fog will be dense. There also could be some freezing rain or freezing drizzle late tonight into tomorrow morning before temperatures warm above freezing. So that's something that bears watching. And then mild weather. It's already mild now, but it'll be a little milder. We'll continue to melt the snow slowly, and that will continue the rest of this week and all of next week with temperatures well above normal. We do have a First Warn weather alert day in the forecast through tomorrow morning for that dense fog and the threat for drizzle and freezing drizzle, especially south and west of Madison. Doppler track right now shows just some very light precipitation, maybe a little bit of freezing drizzle there, but it's the fog that we're dealing with right now. We've got dense fog advisories for southern Wisconsin, basically south of the Dells, most of Iowa, most of Illinois, Indiana, southern Michigan. Visibilities right now, or future track visibilities, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Dubuque, Iowa City down to 1/8 of a mile, Madison 1/4 of a mile. So you can see the fog is pretty widespread. It won't be as thick closer to Lake Michigan or north of the Dells, although there'll be some spots like Marshfield that could see some brief lowering of visibilities. The freezing rain potential, mainly south and west of Madison, not a lot, but untreated roads, sidewalks, driveways, they're going to become slick, especially until temperatures get above freezing. You see what I mean in future track beginning right around midnight. Temperatures already right at freezing, and they don't really move very much as the surge surge of precipitation starts to come in from the south. 3 a.m., just fog and some drizzle or a little bit of light freezing drizzle, but notice some light freezing rain showers along with rain showers where temperatures are closer to freezing or just above. Notice Janesville, 33, Monroe, 32, Madison, 33 through this. Southwestern Wisconsin staying closer to 32. That's why the freezing rain potential a little higher there. But as we get toward noon, by then temperatures should be above freezing, so we'll see mainly rain showers, and they won't be very heavy, but they will continue through much of off and on through the day tomorrow and into tomorrow evening. Now, as we take a look at the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook, more mild weather. Temperatures above normal for much of the country. Highest probabilities right here in Madison. Dense fog advisory for most of southern Wisconsin through mid-morning tomorrow. Future track visibilities down to about 1/4 mile or less by early morning. We're going to see that fog continue to thicken up and then probably start to dissipate a little bit tomorrow afternoon. Freezing rain potential higher south and west of Madison. Look for a low of 31 for tonight and then a high tomorrow of around 35 degrees. So once we get above freezing, that will eliminate the freezing rain threat. Plan your night across Dane County, 35 in Fitchburg, 35 in Sun Prairie, rest of southern Wisconsin, 35 in Lone Rock, and 35 in Platteville. First one, 7 to 10-day forecast. Temperatures above freezing during the day. Nighttime low temperatures near freezing, but the precipitation pretty much cuts off. We'll see dry weather for most of next week. And yes, Friday is Groundhog's Day. Jimmy probably won't see a shadow, but he will see some mild weather.
And coming up in sports, gritty, not pretty. How the Badgers battled the Gophers to a win at the barn and a finish you have to see to believe. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Don't need glasses? See us for your contacts and save on your annual supply.
Save big money now at Menards. DuraClean is an interior paint and primer in one with Stay Clean technology, so your home stays beautiful longer. Get a gallon for $19.97 after $8 rebate. Give your space the Platinum treatment with Platinum Plus interior paint. Its stain shield technology protects your spaces with a performance you'd expect from a luxury paint. Pick up a gallon for only $39.89. Also, don't forget to check out Ironside, Dutch Boy's color of the year.
Save big money at Menards.
Stay ahead of your moderate to severe eczema and show off clearer skin and less itch with Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists that helps heal your skin from within. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Thousands of our heroes face the difficult choice between keeping their heat and power on or facing homelessness. 21,000 Wisconsin veterans are living below the poverty line, many impacted by physical or mental health challenges. Wisconsin loses 3 veterans to suicide every week. Together, our mission is to provide all struggling Wisconsin veterans with a critical survival safety net that keeps them safely in their homes. You can make a real difference by providing a donation to the Wisconsin Heat and Housing for Heroes initiative, with 95 cents of every dollar donated going directly to those right here in your community. Help by visiting www.heatforheroes.org. or by calling 1-800-891-9276. That's 800-891-9276.
Pick and Save always gives you more ways to save on top of our lower than low prices. And when you download the Pick and Save app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons and earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. With a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. Discover more ways to save big every day. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Your eyewear should be as individual as you. With Shopko Optical's extensive selection of frames and lenses, our optometrists will learn about you and help you customize the right choice for your lifestyle. Visit Shopko Optical and find your new signature style today.
Life on the road in the Big Ten is not easy. Just look at Wisconsin's last game away from the Kohl Center. Then you factor in that this is the border battle. The stakes and intensity go way, way up. Badgers have won 6 straight over the Gophers. Lucky number 7 wasn't so easy. Second half, Bucky up 1. Tyler Wall working hard down low in the paint. He scored 12 of his team-high 16 points in the second half. Minnesota, though, wouldn't go away. They're up 2 with under 2 minutes to play. Max Klesmit gets defensive. He comes up with a steal and finds A.J. Storr, and he does the rest to the tune of a two-handed slam-a-lama. That ties the game up at 57. Storr finished with 15 and 12. Badgers would make their free throws and take a 2-point lead with 2 seconds left. The Gophers would get a good look to send it to overtime. But the ball don't lie. Wisconsin survives to make it 16 of their last 18 over Minnesota with a 61-59 win.
Oh, to be able to, again, give up a lead on the road, claw back, withstand the full-throatedness of this place and the fans, and come back and find a way to win, that's you know, you have to be able to win games when maybe you're not at your best. I think as you go through a season, just because the season's too long. So find different ways to win and find a way to get it done. And that just tells you the fortitude and grit that this group has internally.
After 43 games, the Bucks have fired Adrian Griffin. The first-year head coach led Milwaukee to 30 wins during his short stint. The Deer, who currently sits second in the Eastern Conference standings, have reached out to Doc Rivers to be the franchise's next head coach. High school girls hoops, Verona looking to stay undefeated, hosting Sun Prairie West. Wolves on the attack early. Mackenzie Hawk finds Sienna Froh, and she dials one up from deep to give Sun Prairie West a 5-point lead. Verona would respond. Taylor Stremlow to Reagan Briggs for 3 the old-fashioned way. Briggs finished with 30 tonight, and then later it's Stremlow again. This time she puts the Wolves in a spin cycle for 2 of her 14. Wildcats move to 17-0 with a 75-34 win. The last time the Badger women's hockey team skated in Amsoil Arena, Wisconsin ended up making it a memorable weekend in Duluth when they knocked off Minnesota in overtime and then Ohio State to win the program's 7th national championship. This time around, the trip is a little different. They're dropping the puck against 7th-ranked Duluth, so while it will be fun to reminisce, they know there's work to be done.
Driving up there, especially the last hour, 30 minutes, like, you recognize where you're at, kind of, and you're like, oh, I think there'll be some chills, especially when you pull up to the arena. Definitely good memories that flash back in our minds, and we're there for business, and we're there to sweep this weekend.
We all have a really special memory there, most of us, but I think when we get there, we kind of have to put that out of our mind because what happened last year doesn't really have anything to do with this series.
And just a reminder to check out this week's Wisconsin Huddle with women's hockey stars Caroline Harvey and Lacey Eden. Programming note for this week, the show will run on Thursday, same time, same place at 6:30 right here on News 3 Now. We're back after this.
Hy-Vee hot deals are burning hot. Hy-Vee pasta, just 88 cents. Honey Crisp apples, just 98 cents a pound. And Hy-Vee Angus Reserve sirloins, just $5.99 a pound. Only at Hy-Vee.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
See what we can do for you with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Earn now, spend later during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Rewards Members Dollar Days. Now through the end of January, Rewards members earn $10 in Blaine's Bucks for every $100 spent in store to redeem later just like cash. Start earning on 40-pound bags of wood fuel pellets, $4.99. Rewards members pay just $4.79. New Blaine's brand washer fluid, $2.49 a gallon for Rewards members. Plus, Chick Days are coming. Order yours in-store or online. Earn Blaine's Bucks now to spend later during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Rewards Members Dollar Days.
Now get a built Ford Tough F-150 with 1.9% APR financing for 72 months. See your Wisconsin Ford dealer.
A concert experience you won't want to miss. It's the Commodores. Performing live Saturday, February 17th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. 70 million albums sold, 7 #1 hits. The Grammy Award-winning Commodores. February 17th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
Get ready, Madison. Madison Magazine's Winter Restaurant Week is here. Over 40 restaurants will showcase 3-course meals from $30 with 15 restaurants serving lunch. Plus, enjoy the perfect pairings with wine and more from E&J Gallo. Check our online guide on madisonmagazine.com to see which places offer takeout and dine-in. Save the dates, January 22nd through the 26th. Madison Magazine's Winter Restaurant Week, where good times and great meals come together. Presenting sponsor the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and supporting sponsor Roth Cheese.
Save every day with Hy-Vee Perks prices. Fresh Express Garden Salad, Hy-Vee Perks price $1.48. Chicken breasts, Hy-Vee Perks price $2.48 a pound. And 5 pounds of potatoes, Hy-Vee Perks price $2.49. Sign up for Hy-Vee Perks.
And Gary's back for one final check of the forecast.
The fog is getting thicker.
And Leon's getting larger. The airplane line.
See, there it is. There's the
low ceiling.
Live view of the Capitol. Visibility is down to a 1/4 mile now in Monroe, 1/2 mile in Mineral Point, 2 miles here in Madison. Not much in the way of precipitation. Maybe some light freezing drizzle around Prairie du Chien. Could see some freezing rain develop toward morning. Temperatures right around freezing. That's going to be critical overnight.
And Gary just has all those airplane lines memorized. Thanks for joining us, folks.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.